but now we're back on and things are going smoothly, right?
Allegedly.
That was a sign, wasn't it?
That was a sign. Yeah, so we were talking about doing graphic design for customers. You guys
Absolutely. So, we do get some customers that know exactly what they want. They've got their logos, they've got their images, and we just print for them. But for others, we do, from the very first idea, we've got a graphic designer actually who's been with us for, I think, almost 25 years.
Okay.
So he does the graphic design, and then, we go through various iterations depending on how that goes, and all the way through to production.
Okay.
Oh, very cool.
Great.
So I imagine there's a lot of things going on with various types of printing.
Sure.
So what about the technology and the printing work that you use in the printers and all of that?
Yeah, lots of different technology, lots of different styles of printing. So we do wide format printers, which are latex-based ink on rolled materials, all kinds of material. Some of them are vinyl adhesive, some of them are cling, sometimes it's just paper. And then on other machines, in one of our locations, we have a flatbed printer that prints with a gantry arm and cures with a UV light. So a couple different ways to go about that. It's super interesting to get to know like the little nuances of how that works.
Sure. And I was learning working with you guys on this particular project about pixelation, and taking a look at how that, affects different sizes and, just the materials that are used.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
I was kind of like, wow, there's a lot more to this,
For sure.
It's just not as simple as, here, let's paint this together or throw this together.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of people do think like, oh, here's my picture. I found this image online. I'm going to send it to you. And then you just push go on your printer and then like, it should be done, right?
Yeah.
Right? And, we're looking for a lot of things in the process. We're looking for high quality in the graphics. And sometimes we do that ourselves on the design side, like you mentioned.
Right.
Sometimes, we're lucky enough to get the images that way. But yeah, we're looking for the quality and, the colors. And we don't want pixelation. And some printers prefer different formats of the files and stuff. So lots of nuances.
Yeah, I imagine so. And as you stated before, a lot of times signs are the first impression that people see. So I just have to ask this because we live in an environment out here that's hot.
Sure.
The sun is always out, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just there.
Right.
So, I mean, is there UV protection that's being used in the inks or?
Not on the Filiberto signs.
Right?
We need to give Filiberto's a call after this.
That's exactly right.
They're pretty faded out there, right? And I guess the second part of that question is, when you do some work, what would be the life expectancy in this environment of an outdoor sign?
Yeah, so different applications call for different types of UV protection. So on the print side, whether we're doing like the rigid materials, which would either be like a poster paper or a thick poster paper with a core on the inside, or the coroplast, like we talked about for the political signs. Those get they get laminated for the most part. And that is typically what will give that more longevity. As far as like the overhead signs go, that can be a difficult thing to give more UV protection other than what comes in the paints, because a lot of those overhead signs and stuff, they're custom painted.
Yeah.
And so there's only so much that you can do. Life expectancy, if something is laminated, a lot of the companies that we work with, they say the print itself may have three years, on a horizontal, on a vertical, use. And then if you put a laminate over top, maybe you get another 2 to 3. Out here, it's hard to say that something's going to last 5 or 6 years, give it, a couple. But the sun is so harsh that
it is harsh.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Not considering when we do have monsoons.
Right.
This year was a non-soon. We didn't get much activity there as far as monsoons go.
Yeah.
But when we do, they can be, destructive. I mean, I've had my home destroyed by a monsoon, in an October monsoon years ago. So, how are they in that type of weather? I mean, of course, the wind is one thing. Sandblasting, rain.
Yeah.
I mean, you're just looking for the high quality products. That's our best defense against that, really, is quality installation and then high quality products, because it's going to give you the most longevity. They're formulated. There's so much technology, speaking of, that goes into the formulation of the products as well, which is something that I find super interesting. But yeah, that's most of what's going to give it that longevity.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you get what you pay for. It's kind of like we talk about with our cables and everything, our stuff is American made. We have American made wire. We, utilize the best materials. And if people want to go cheap, they can go cheap.
Right.
But
here's our card. Call us, call us in a couple of years.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we're all about quality here for sure.
Yeah. And so, when it comes down to printing, whether it's a commercial sign or custom sign, are the underlayment materials such as the signs, say stainless steel, plastics, I'm sure you guys use a variety of those, right?
Yeah.
So maybe a little bit about that topic and the base of what you're using.
Yeah. So we do use a variety of things when you're printing on the wide format printer. So like vinyl on storefronts, that all comes in a big wide roll. It goes onto a machine that gets spooled. The computer sends the file over, and then the printer lays the ink down. That could be, like I was saying, all different types of vinyl. Some are made specifically for wrapping vehicles or for complex curves, things like that. Some are designed for more flat surfaces, which would be like your storefront windows or maybe the flat side of a vehicle or something, a door that's, not going into rivets and seams and stuff. But there's that category of product, which are your rolled materials, your rolled goods. And then there are also the rigid materials, which we kind of touched on. The Coroplast is a corrugated plastic. It has flutes that run down it. It allows you to put it on a yard sign or onto a stake.
Right.
The political, that's mostly what we see those used for. We print and we can put vinyl on PVC. We use a ton of aluminum composite. So super compressed plastic in the center and then thin faces of aluminum on either side. It's a little bit more cost effective than aluminum. It has about the same lifespan, which is kind of nice.
Okay.
But styrene, different types of plastics and stuff. And then we get into the acrylics and various thicknesses and weights and colors and stuff. So we're, as you know from your special project, we're not super limited on what we can print on or put vinyl on. Yeah.
Sure. And I believe that's Pete that chimed in, owner of our company here.
Okay.
He says, fascinating services. Much of our product is silk screened. This looks like another option.
Yeah.
So if something can be silk screened on, I'm sure you guys can do the print on that surface as well, possibly.
Absolutely. We have the advantage having that flatbed printer allows us to kind of print on anything. And the fact that it cures with a UV light makes it a little more long lasting. It allows it to adhere, really well. But yeah, it could be an alternative to silk screening for sure.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at, with this particular project.
Yeah.
So
how long did it take you to get a command of all this? It's impressive, knowing in my head that you've been in it for about 2 years, but hearing you talk, it's just, you have a complete command of what you're doing. So
I think once we decided to go signs, like I really just kind of threw myself into it. And honestly, a lot of it was trial by fire,
Right.
In a sale and under new ownership, people do come and go. And so it was just a matter of either, learn to do the job yourself or, you kind of sink. So that's where some of that came from. Yeah. So even as far as like installs and stuff go, I was running the printers and running the machinery and doing the installs and doing some removals and stuff. So really hands-on.
So you were in the trenches.
In the trenches.
That's a good place to start. I mean,
that's seriously.
A great place
to learn.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Got to get down, got to get dirty and learn, the business.
Right.
So,
it was a challenge for sure. And not something that we expected to deal with right away, but honestly, what better time? Like, I know what the job takes. I know the materials. I know the methods. There's still so much to learn because the industry continues to evolve. There's always new products being offered and different ways to do things. But yeah, it's a good place to start.
Yeah, we have some pictures of the work you guys have done. So Jesse, if you want to pull up number 1, and we'll show some photos of the work they've done. You can explain a little bit about each one, and we'll just kind of run through those.
Yeah, absolutely.
You guys did The Habit.
Yeah.
Cool.
And that's like what I was saying. The fun part is to drive around town and then you see all the work that you've done.
Yeah.
This is, we would call this an illuminated overhead channel letter sign.
Example of that.
This always gets everybody interested. So that's what this is. These are illuminated in the front. So there's this is all custom made. They're all bent either with a machine or by hand. They have an acrylic face, which is kind of cool. And then
We can move
depending
this out
on what
of
you're
the way.
looking for. Oh yeah, there we go.
That way you can see.
Depending on what kind of look you're looking for, you can lay translucent vinyl over these faces.
That's cool.
And then you get them to glow whatever color you're interested in. And then
The LEDs inside.
that's what I was going to say on the
Here we go.
inside. So this little face pops off, yeah. And then we run LEDs on the inside, if you can see that. And then on the back, these little wires, they all feed out and then they get, drilled into a power source, which is kind of cool.
Nice.
Very cool. So picture number 2. The Habit. They got good burgers.
Yeah, they do. These are some custom printed labels that we did for a company out here. And so this is a case where, the company has its own branding. They have the look that they want, all the details they want to include. So we would source the proper material that's going to serve, the product the best and print these, and these go on their products.
This looks like a wrap, right? For a bottle?
Kind of, yeah. So it's basically a big sticker.
Yeah.
So this would be printed on that wide format printer, and then cut down into those little individual labels there.
Very cool. How about number 3?
This is a fun project. This is an illuminated reception sign. So it's actually, it might be steel on the front. There's acrylic on the back side of that, illuminated with LEDs. And then those are actually color changing LEDs. So with a remote, you can kind of set those. And
set the mood, huh?
yeah, absolutely.
There you go. That's pretty cool. Now, do you guys do the entire build on something like this, or do you guys just do the printing?
A little bit of both. So we have the option. We also have a big CNC machine. And so we can, cut those pieces of metal custom, cut the acrylic, so we can do a lot of this from start to finish ourselves.
Nice.
Yeah. We've got some other partners that help us when we need it. But yeah.
Wow.
Very cool. Okay, number 4. My wife used to buy this product.
They get you in the mall, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. This is a reception sign. We do tons of these. This would be like an interior sign. So what you're seeing is a piece of clear acrylic. Looks like some dimensional letters adhered to the front. And then we would either approach this 2 ways, either put vinyl on the back side of that acrylic, or with that flatbed machine I was telling you about, we would print directly to the back side of the acrylic. And it just gets mounted with little standoffs. Give it some dimension.
That's cool. And next one.
Fun project.
Is this over at Westgate?
It is.
I was going to say, this is Westgate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
This
10
is,
years, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. A blade sign. This is, the fun part about what we do is we get contacted by either the brands themselves or kind of third party. If they're headquartered somewhere else, they contact us as a local, either fabricator or installer or a combination of both. And so that's what this project was.
Very cool. I've actually seen that sign in person.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out what it is. I mean, I know what it is. I just don't know what's in it. You know what I mean?
So yeah, no, I've been over there several times. Know that area well. All right, next one.
This is
505 West
yeah.
apartment community, right?
monument signs. I think these are probably a good example, like the range of what we can do. I think we run into that a lot, is people don't necessarily know the full range of products that we offer. But this is an exterior sign. We get with designers and start with the concept, and then have fabricators work with us to build those pieces. So yeah.
Oh, very cool. Yeah, you see these all over the place, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You're driving down the road, you'll go by 30 or 40 of these
Absolutely.
in not too long of time. Yeah. Oh, cool. All right, what's next? This one was kind of cool to me. I like this little corner office, the way this thing is constructed.
Yeah, we get this a lot, and we do an alternate version of this where we use like a frosted material to give a little bit of privacy. But this is essentially just vinyl on glass. And the other way to do that is, like I said, to use that frosted material. You could still kind of do it in a pattern. We can cut it, we can print on it, and that would just get laid to, give some privacy in there.
Very cool. I like that.
Yeah.
And what we got next, Jesse?
Another one of those monument signs, exterior signage, stuff we see, driving down the road all the time.
Yeah, Holiday Inn.
Wow. Yeah.
Overhead banners. This
Oh,
is
banners,
like,
okay.
yeah, in the case, you're waiting for the city to approve your overhead signage and you need a temporary solution.
Sure.
We hang the banners and stuff as an option.
Yeah, I imagine these banners, you may do quite a few for like trade show activities too.
That
things
as
of
well.
That nature.
Yeah, and we do retractable banners as well, which
Oh,
is an option with
okay.
the little stands that kind
Right,
of roll up
pull
and
up
down.
and-
We do
yep.
a ton of those. Yeah, a ton of those.
Very cool. I like that word today. Very cool. Next one.
Interior reception sign. So this is super popular, this design. The style of lettering. We would call this a reverse channel letter.
Okay.
Similar fabrication as the one that we talked about, that E. The only difference is we would have a full like metal front, and then the back side of it is open, but we still run
Okay.
LEDs on the back side of it. And then when it gets mounted, we mount it a couple inches off the wall so that when the LEDs are on, it produces that halo effect. So
Sure.
a halo letter is a lot of is what a lot of people know these as. Yeah, but
Great.
super popular right now.
No, question. You just had mentioned when we mount this, do you guys do the physical work of going out and installing these signs
we do.
as well?
Yeah, we do.
Okay.
Yeah. So literally from start to finish, we've got you. We've got, a great team of installers, and they run the electrical when necessary. We've got a big bucket truck, and so those overhead signs and stuff, we do those as well, which is pretty cool.
It is cool.
Yeah.
Now, I have to ask, something like this, or at least on the exterior, I'm sure there's permits and things like that you have to get. Do
Absolutely.
you take care of that too, or is that up to the property owner?
Depends. I mean, if they have experience and they're interested in doing it themselves, by all means, you're welcome to. But we typically do that on behalf of our customers. We do all of the schematic drawings and all of the detailed plans. We file the applications. We, run through that whole process for our customers. And then on the back end, after the sign's been installed, we schedule the inspection and do all that as well to make sure that all the bases are
So
covered.
it meets all city code. and-
Absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like that. Next. Or are we out?
Here we go.
This is vinyl. And we've done a couple projects like this. So sometimes it's on the inside of the store and it's going to be a permanent fixture. In other cases, it's while the mall or the store is doing construction and they're set up.
Yeah.
We would lay big sheets of vinyl on the front to give the privacy while they're doing some demo and construction and setup. So
Sure.
yeah, those are fun.
That's that bunny store again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same customer.
Bad bunny,
Yeah.
whatever it is.
Yeah, they're not too far from the Coach Purse store down there.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Well versed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you buy your last Coach purse there?
No. Bought the wife of Michael Kors, which is across from the Coach
There you
store.
go.
So, Twisted Media. Look at that. Nice wrap.
Yeah, vehicle wraps. We do partial wraps, full wraps, and actually in the area we do a lot of like fleet wraps. So,
Okay, cool.
which is exciting. We haven't really talked about this, but getting to know the community and being a part of the community. We get to work with local businesses, and it's fun to watch them grow. And we can tell they're growing when they call us and they say, "Hey, we have 3 new trucks. Can you wrap those?" And so it's nice to be a part of that with the local community.
Yeah.
What type of longevity do you get out of a vehicle wrap? Because, I mean, I've seen some that are just peeling off the vehicles and I don't know how long
Yeah.
they've been there.
A couple years. So again,
Okay.
the sides are going to probably hold up a little bit better than anything on the hood or the roof of the car. But you'd probably get 2 to 3 years of good, solid quality. By the time it starts to chip and fade and peel, you probably should have had it removed a while ago. Yeah, but a couple years.
Cool. And then we brought some other signs here to show
Yeah.
that you guys have done and can work on.
Yeah. This
Like
is
this one
like,
right here? It's like a
sweet numbers.
Sweet numbers.
We have the individual little letters. This is a foam letter, actually, with a layer of acrylic on top. These are good for those like reception signs that we were talking about for people who are looking for like a cost-effective solution. Yeah, these are both really good examples for ADA signage. So a lot of people don't know that we do that as well, but it's a requirement in buildings in your interior signage and stuff. So these are textured. They're printed on a machine that also cures with UV ink, but it kind of builds up the layers until you get that 3D raised
So those
effect.
are built layers from the machine itself.
Yeah, so those are printed on and then cured, but it takes multiple passes to kind of make that raised texture.
Yeah, I thought it was cut.
Yeah.
And then printed over.
Yeah, that's so 90s, John.
Hey, what can I say?
There you go.
Yeah, same thing here. This is an example of what we do. We work with a lot of HOAs and property management companies, and we do like the house numbers and unit numbers, things like that. So this is another example of those, and form plastic letters. But I mean, the opportunities are so endless. We do so much custom work, some standard stuff, but a ton of custom work.
And here you also brought the show. Let's hold this up here.
Yeah.
And this shows just a diagram of the different types and varieties that you have to offer.
Yeah, absolutely. And a lot of that stuff is exterior, but I mean, it goes to show like from monument signs, you can see the ADA there. We also do business cards and the trade show stuff that you touched on, tents and tablecloths and the vehicle graphics and stuff. So yeah, that's a good representation of all of the work that we can do.
And I think I saw that on your website too, right? That same picture. What is the website?
Signarama.com, but signaramascottsdale.com. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, so whereabouts in Scottsdale is that location at?
So that location is on Redfield Road, just south of the air park, in between Scottsdale Road and Hayden.
Okay.
Yep. And then your neighbor's store over here.
Right up here.
Right up here on Deer Valley, just south of the airport.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
That works.
So 2 years in, I mean, you guys obviously are just enjoying this. I can tell by talking to you and talking to Buzz.
Yeah.
You're really enjoying this experience. So where do you see yourselves, say, 5 years from now?
If we left it up to Buzz, he would take over the universe and he would own all of the Signaramas, not only in Arizona, but probably
to
across the
infinity
country.
and beyond.
Literally.
It was just laying there. I had to take the shot.
You had to, absolutely. But I think a more realistic thing. Well, we have recently signed, on some additional territories in the valley. But I think for us, having multiple locations, probably putting all of our production in a center area and being able to serve customers across the valley.
Sure.
We also have the fully promoted brand as well. So it's under the same umbrella of the franchise group that we're a part of. This is more promotional products and branded apparel. So your work shirts that are embroidered, our work shirts, the cups, the pens, the hats.
All the little tchotchkes you get from the
stuff.
trade
Yeah,
shows.
it's easy to forget them, and it's easy to, they exist, but you don't always know where they come from.
So
But
you can get all your promotions for your trade shows and your signage for your
All of
trade
it.
shows, your banners, everything at one stop shop.
yeah,
There you go.
it made sense for us to do that.
Sure.
Some people run their fully promoted stores exclusively or a Signarama exclusively, but for us, it made sense to be able to have both parts of the conversation and serve our customers holistically. So yeah,
Very good.
yeah.
Wow. There's a lot more I just learned that I did not know. You probably did too out there.
Yeah, lots of info.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, we really appreciate you being here today. It's nice when we have guests.
Thank you.
Otherwise, we just have to.
I have to look
Riff
at
on
him the whole
stuff.
time. I got to deal with this guy.
Well, thank you for
Yeah.
having us. Yeah, it was. We're excited to be invited and be a part of it, and I had a really nice time.
Yeah. Thank you for joining us once again. And, we didn't bring a sheet with your contact information, but if you'd like to contact any, of these locations here, feel free to reach out to us.
Sure.
And we can get you the information and get it over to you.
Sure.
So like, share, and subscribe.
Yep. All right, everybody. Well, yeah, if you, we had Pete comment, but if you comment after it's posted, we'll see them and try and respond to your comments as well on the rewatch or on the stream view of it. So for now, I'm Mark
another
Beach.
Showdown. I'm John Dotson, and thank you, Jasmine,
Thanks,
for joining us
Jasmine,
today.
for joining us today.
Thank you.